I was watching a video essay about Jax, from the Digital Circus being trans, and um, I didn't watch the Digital Circus because of that. Like I was watching the series as it came out from, like I started watching it when around episode 6 came out. I knew it was like, FNAF level type uh, YouTube content, really, but I didn't really care because I liked the story and I thought the humor was good. Um, and I mean, I wouldn't say I expected there to be any trans allegory with in there, and even when I did see the series finale in theaters in June, I was like, well, I didn't really wrap out all the characters that well, and it was kind of corny. Um, but I gave it props for being a trans story, and unfortunately, I thought I would just leave it at that. But even still, months later, I'm still thinking about this character in the show, and that's mainly because you don't really get to see representation of a trans woman, particularly one that feels kind of uh, like a white trans woman like me from America, you know. Uh, so yeah, I uh, would say I do resonate with her version of transness a lot, and I still do. Especially in the types of ways she pushes people away. Like if my life was a TV show, I don't think I would also be called bad representation of a trans person. I feel like, because I'm still like pretty mask coded, you know. If I didn't say I was a girl, I don't think anyone would like think much about my gender. Uh, and I'm still like at the very early stages of understanding femininity mentally. I've never really explored femininity in a physical way, and that kind of because it really does scare me, and which isn't a good thing because I still haven't found myself in a physical form. You know, I mean, like I'm still here and I'm still a feminine being, or at least I believe so. But even speaking or just hearing my voice is kind of painful. Um, because I literally don't know how to voice train for shit. So, fuck me. Uh, yeah. Anyways, yeah, like basically, Jax is a character whose humor I resonate with. Um, and it's definitely not a character I feel like every trans woman has been. There's different shades, you know, different textures of it. And this is a particular experience I relate to. Instead of like, my favorite trans story being I Saw the TV Glow, instead of that airy, disassociated feeling, uh, you know, I Saw the TV Glow feels more like me now and how I was in high school with how Owen acts throughout, where she's very, you know, just so out of her body. Like, I don't know, the way Owen's actor Justin Smith, or Justice Smith played Owen in I Saw TV Glow is just so like played a disassociated character very well. That is really what that experience is like. But like like I have the capability to shut down like that, and that's how I normally do act when I'm in you know more in relationships that require more. intimacy. That's usually how I shut down. But with Jax, it's more like of how I would act if I was, like around like my guy friends in middle or high school. Um, just kind of edgy and mean, you know, and I always knew like the people in my life I didn't want to see. I didn't want them to see me change because I think, and I still do, that it's embarrassing for them to see that, and I don't like being criticized or told how or what I'm doing wrong, you know. Because if you show yourself in a feminine way to your guy friends, they're gonna be like logical about it. They're gonna be like, oh well, you could do this better, position yourself this way. And that just makes me feel shitty about myself when I guess like it's a vulnerable part, so like I can't have it criticized that much. And and like like my stepdad would like if I like wore nail polish or uh he'd be like, don't let it fade that way, because like I didn't really give a fuck if it came off and didn't look as clean. And he just thought it was like bro talk because he didn't like that type of thing. But like, hey, that makes me feel shitty, so stop that. Uh, what else? Yeah, a lot of my relationships ended in a very similar fashion uh, to how Jax um, treats people, and you know, I don't think that is wrong. I know it's wrong, you know, but I still did it. So would you still say I'm a woman? Because I still did shit like that. I did like the Reddit thing in episode 9. You know, I treated close relationships like that. Like particularly the ribbit thing. I have done that, and when you do stuff like that, it's like you're just letting the person fade from your life intentionally, and you kind of want them gone, but you don't want them to go, so you just kind of like are passive aggressive towards them. Um, and it's a mean thing to do, totally. But it's like also a thing that if you're cis and you're a cis person interacting with me, like you just don't understand that. So like seeing deep of a thing, that deep of a thing that you've hidden for decades is difficult. So it's not just like a tiny little thing. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, this video is just basically an anecdote of that. I just wanted to make it, just to make it. And yeah, I guess that's about it. See ya.